signify by saying present or aye. Councilmember Aldama.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Or here.
Councilmember Melner.
Present.
Councilmember Tomachoff.
Here.
Councilmember Turner.
Present.
Vice Mayor.
Here.
Chairman is present. All are in attendance. Next two items on the agenda is the invocation and our Pledge of Allegiance. Today's invocation is going to be delivered by Mushkan Elston of the Baha'i Faith. I hope I said that correctly. Gentlemen, if appropriate, remove your hats. If everyone would please stand and join with us in the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Mushkan?
Thank you. O God, my God, cast upon this gathering the glances of thy loving kindness. Keep safe each and all in thy custody and under thy protection. Send down upon these souls thy heavenly blessings. Immerse them in the ocean of thy mercy and quicken them through the breaths of Holy Spirit. O my God, verily I invoke thee and supplicate before thy threshold, asking thee that all thy mercies may descend upon these souls. Specialize them for thy favor and thy truth. O Lord, unite and bind together the hearts, join in accord all the souls, and exhilarate the spirits through the signs of thy sanctity and oneness. O Lord, make these faces radiant through the light of thy oneness. Strengthen the loins of thy servants in the service of thy kingdom. O Lord, thou possessor of infinite mercy, O Lord of forgiveness and pardon, forgive our sins, pardon our shortcomings, and cause us to turn to the kingdom of thy clemency, invoking the kingdom of might and power. Humble at thy shrine and submissive before the glory of thine evidences. O Lord God, make us as waves of the sea, as flowers of the garden, united, agreed through the bounties of thy love. O Lord, dilate the breast through the signs of thy oneness, and make all mankind as stars shining from the same height of glory, as perfect fruits growing upon thy tree of life. Verily, thou art the Almighty, the self-subsistent, the giver, the forgiving, the pardoner, the omniscient, the one creator. Abdul-Baha.
Thank you. Councilmember Turner, will you lead us in pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, before we get started, I'd like to remind everybody of the following. The meeting is televised. It's live on the City of Glendale's Facebook and YouTube pages, as well as Glendale's own Channel 11. Our meetings are held in the Glendale Civic Center with the audience seated just immediately to our east. The public health remains still a priority. Face coverings are encouraged, but they're not required. They're not mandatory. We do request that all attendees maintain a 6-foot social distancing when possible. For those of you seated next door, please be aware that you have a large screen where you can see and hear us, but we got the same thing on our side. So with that said, if you wish to speak on any item on the agenda, please complete a golden colored card, give it to the officer in a room. That'll be passed to our clerk and then in turn handed to myself. If you submitted a speaker card and indicated that you wish to speak on an agenda item, I'll wait for you to make your way to the podium in this room. I'll also be allowing 3 minutes for each speaker tonight on all of our agenda items. If you do wish to speak on any item that's not on the agenda, ask that you please complete a blue-colored speaker card, give it to the officer in this room, and then be aware that the citizens' comment section is at the very end of each voting meeting. I'd like to thank all of you for your patience. So next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Council members, do you have any corrections or additions to the minutes of May 11th, 2020 voting meeting? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the May 11th, 2020 voting meeting minutes?
Yes, Mayor, I move we approve the minutes from May 11th, 2021 voting meeting.
Second.
I have a motion from the Vice Mayor, a second from Councilmember Clark to approve the minutes. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Appears the ayes have it, do have it, so ordered. Boards and commissions, we'll now move on to just that. The individual nominated, I would ask you please wait to come forward until Councilmember Aldama calls you up, and that will be after the nomination and the council's vote. So, Councilmember Aldama, do you have nomination to offer for boards, commissions, and other bodies?
Thank you, Mayor. I motion to approve approve the recommendation appointments to boards and commissions and other bodies. Gary Hurst to Citizens Transportation Oversight Commission for a term ending January 31st, 2022. Elaine Gomez to Historic Preservation Commission for a term ending January 31st, 2023. Bernice Harris to the Library Advisory Board for a term ending January 31st, 2022. Daniel Heath to the Planning Commission for a term ending January 31st, 2023. And the following appointments to the Audit Committee. Irene Avalos for a term ending June 30th, 2023. Rusty Simmons for a term ending June 30th, 2023. Vice Mayor Ian Hugh for a term ending June 30th, 2023. Councilmember Ray Malnar for a term ending June 30th, 2023. And Councilmember Jamie Aldama, myself, for a term ending June 30th, 2023. And the following appointments to the Community Development Advisory Committee. Kristen Flores for a term ending June 30th, 2023. David Giles for a term ending June 30th, 2023. Theodora Hackenberg for a term ending June 30th, 2023. Alicia Rubio for a term ending June 30th, 2023. Abby Vick for a term ending June 30th, 2023. Those are the individuals, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, I do have a motion from Councilmember Aldama, a second from Councilmember Tomenchoff. All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed, vote nay. Appears the ayes have it, do have it, so that is the case. Councilmember Aldama, I'll come up here by the microphones. If you would ask everyone that's just been newly appointed to join me in front of my table, we'll take the oath.
Yes, Mayor. Were those whose names I announced, please come forward to the front here, the Mayor, for your oath, please. Thank you, Mayor. And we got a crowd today.
You folks can kind of like start here and then just kind of face that direction. Okay, if you're vertically challenged, you might
Mayor?
stand in the front. We've got some more room down here if you need. Okay, folks, if all of you would raise your right hands, I want you to insert your name. Start off with I, state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution and the laws of the state of Arizona, that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance to the same, and defend them against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of my office according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Y'all did good. Congratulations. Okay. Are they too wide? Okay, so the tallest one's in the back. Okay, if you want to stand right here, just right here, you kind of sit next to him. Right in, okay, right in between them.
That's Holly's on the back.
Congratulations, everyone. Okay, we're now going to move on to our consent agenda. Items 3 through 23. Items on the consent agenda are routine nature, or they've been previously studied by the city council at a workshop session. Now, they are intended to be acted upon. They are intended to be acted upon in one motion by this council. Ms. Bauer, would you please read the consent resolutions 18 through 20?
Item 18, resolution number R21-41, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing and directing the entering into of Amendment Number 2 to the Intergovernmental Agreement for Fire and Medical Services response to the Desert Diamond Casino with the City of Peoria and the Sun City Fire District on behalf of the Glendale Fire Department. Item 19, resolution number R21-42, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, approving and authorizing submission of the substantial amendment to the 2015-16, 2017-18, 2018-19, and 2019-20 annual action plans to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development in the combined amount of $701,766.49. Item 20, resolution number R21-43, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, directing and entering into the intergovernmental agreement between the Housing Authority of Maricopa County and the Glendale Housing Authority for the Veteran Affairs Supportive Housing Program. Item 21, resolution number R21-44, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing the city manager to execute and accept a property use license from Salt River Project Agricultural Improvement and Power District for the intersection located at 63rd Avenue and Northern. Item 22, resolution number R21-45, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing and directing the entering into of an intergovernmental agreement with the Arizona Department of Transportation, IGA 21-000818-0-1, for the installation of bicycle lanes and enhancement of pedestrian facilities at the intersection of 67th Avenue between Missouri Avenue and Choya Street. Item 23, resolution number R21-46, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, approving the Parks and Recreation Master Plan for the City of Glendale. That concludes the consent resolutions.
And you have no speaker cards?
No, sir.
Okay, council members, any items that you'd like to hear separately? Motion to approve those items.
Yes, Mayor, I move that we approve consent agenda items 3 through 17 and consent resolutions 18 through 23.
Second.
Motion from Councilmember Tomachoff, a second from Councilmember Clark to approve the recommended action. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, vote nay. Appears the ayes have it, do have it. That motion carries. Bids and contracts. Moving on to that, Ms. Bauer, would you introduce item 24, please?
Amendment to City Clerk Employment Agreement.
Brown.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is a request for Council to review and consider approval to the proposed amendments to the City Clerk's Employment Agreement. The amendments to this employment agreement found in Sections 4.1 and Section 9.3 create consistency between other appointed official agreements and the City Clerks. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the council? Hearing none. Just briefly, Mr. Brown and I were talking, and we felt as though if we were going to have equity, this would be probably a good place to have it. So that's why this was moved forward. So with that, can I get a motion to approve item 24?
Mayor,
Go ahead.
I move we approve the proposed amendments to the city clerk's employment agreement.
Second.
Motion from Councilmember Turner, second from Councilmember Clark to approve the recommended action. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll
Mayor,
call. Go ahead. There is discussion.
just a quick, I want to make sure, when you go to the attachment, it shows an old agreement.
Mr. Brown.
I want to make sure I understand what,
Mayor, Councilmember Malnar, It's not a new agreement, it's just an amendment to the existing agreement, the agreement
Okay.
that was already in place. So this just shows where those amendments were going to be made to the existing agreement.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion, we had a second. We'll do a roll call vote, starting with Councilmember Aldama. How do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Clark, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Melner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Turner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Vice Mayor, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, carries unanimous. Ms. Bauer, would you introduce item 25, please?
Award of IFB 21-41 and authorization to enter into an agreement with Dana Kepner Company LLC for purchase of water meters.
Any speaker cards?
No, sir.
Any presentation? Okay, Councilmember, any questions? Hearing none, do I get a motion to approve item 25? Go ahead, sir.
I move that we approve item 25, IFB 2141.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Melner, second Councilmember Tomachoff to approve recommended action. Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing none. Roll call vote. Councilmember Aldama, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Clark, how do you vote?
Mayor, as is my habit and practice, this is a 5-year contract for ordinary services, so I will be voting no.
Thank you. Councilmember Melner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Turner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Vice Mayor, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, the motion does carry. Ms. Barr, would you introduce item 26, please?
Authorization to enter into a linking agreement with Shade and Net of Arizona, Inc. for pre-engineered shade structures for parks.
Do we have any speaker cards?
No, sir.
Do we have any presentation? Councilmember, any questions? Can I get a motion to approve item 26?
Mayor,
Go ahead.
motion to approve item number 26, authorization to enter into a linking agreement with ShadeNet of Arizona, Inc.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Aldama, second from the Vice Mayor to approve the recommended action. Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing none. Roll call vote. Councilmember Aldama, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Clark, how do you vote?
Nay.
Councilmember Melner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Turner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Vice Mayor, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, the motion carries. Ms. Barr, would you introduce 27, please?
Ratification of U.S. Department of the Treasury Emergency Rental Assistance, ERA-2, Financial Assistance Agreement.
Speaker cards?
No, sir.
Anyone need an explanation? Seeing none. Okay. Got a motion?
Yes, Mayor. I move that we pass and adopt ratification of U.S. Department of Treasury Emergency Rental Assistance, known as ERA-2, Financial Assistance Agreement.
Second.
Worried that nobody was going to second that for a minute. Okay. Motion by Councilmember Clark, second from Councilmember Tomachoff to approve the recommended action. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call vote. Councilmember Aldama, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Clark, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Melner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Turner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Vice Mayor, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, the motion carries unanimous. We'll now move on to ordinances. Ms. Bauer, would you introduce ordinance 021-38, item 28?
Ordinance number O21-38, an ordinance of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing the acceptance of a quitclaim deed from Valleywise Health and authorizing the execution of a quitclaim deed to Maricopa County for property at 5141 West Lamar Road, and directing the city clerk to record a certified copy of the ordinance.
Mayor, members of the council, Rick St. John, Deputy City Manager, will make the presentation.
Mayor, members of the council, this is a request for council to adopt an ordinance authorizing the city manager to accept a quitclaim deed for the property at 5141 West Lamar Road. It's a 3.5-acre parcel that has been occupied by Valleywise, a subsidiary of Maricopa County Special Health Care District. Once we acquire the land, we will quitclaim the deed, execute a quitclaim deed agreement with Maricopa County to give it back to the county for their use as a medical facility for intended purposes. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? Seeing none. Thank you, sir. Can I get a motion for ordinance 021-38, item 28?
Mayor, I move we adopt ordinance 021-38 and waive reading beyond the title.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Turner, second from Councilmember Clark to approve the recommended action. Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Councilmember Turner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Tomachoff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Melner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Clark, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Eldama, how do you vote?
Aye.
Vice Mayor, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimous. Resolutions, we'll now move on to resolution number 021-47, item number 29, Ms. Bauer.
Resolution number R 21-47, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, approving and authorizing the acceptance of emergency housing vouchers issued by the Department of Housing and Urban Development not to exceed $1,500,000 and authorizing the city manager to execute all necessary documents related to this program, including the acceptance of additional vouchers if needed.
Mayor, members of the council, here to provide staff report is Jean Marino, Director of Community Services.
Thank you, Mr. Phelps. Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is a request to allow the City of Glendale Housing Authority to administer an emergency housing voucher program that has been authorized by the American Rescue Plan Act. This particular program provides temporary emergency housing vouchers for people who are experiencing homelessness or at risk for homelessness, or also victims of violent crimes or sexual assaults, or who are attempting to flee sexual trafficking. This particular voucher program was a direct allocation from HUD. They specifically identified Glendale Housing Authority based on the need and our geographic location, and have assigned us 72 vouchers. But we do have the ability to accept up to 100 additional vouchers up to 100 in order to expand the program, again, not to exceed $1.5 million. This particular program is unique in nature, and it will require multiple collaborations with the Maricopa County Continuum of Care, in addition to collaborations with regional service providers to provide ongoing supportive services. And with that, I would be happy to answer any questions.
Questions from the council? Hearing none, could I get a motion? Anybody?
Mayor,
Go ahead.
I move we adopt resolution number R 21-47.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Clark, a second from Vice Mayor to approve the recommended action. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Councilmember Eldama, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Clark, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Melner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Turner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Vice Mayor, how do you vote?
Aye.
I'm going to explain my vote. Ms. Moreno, I told you this morning, and I'm going to say it in front of the public. You're doing an incredible job. I love the way you've embraced this. I've had a lot of meetings with her lately with the homeless issue. Our city is, along with lots of other cities, are trying to deal with it, but she has really been remarkable in helping our city try to address the homeless issue. So thank you for your compassion. Thank you for your caring. You make the city proud. With that, I vote aye. It carries unanimous. New business. Ms. Bauer, would you introduce item 30?
Appointment of Michelle Iafrate to City Judge.
Mayor, members of the council, here to provide staff report is Jim Brown, Director of Human Resources and Risk Management.
Thank you, Mr. Phelps. Good evening again. Mayor and council, I'm very pleased to bring this item to the council this evening. This is a request for the council to consider and take action on the appointment of Michelle Iafrate to a 2-year term as city judge, and the effective appointment date will be June the 9th, 2021, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from our council? None? Thank you. We have any speaker cards?
No, sir.
Excellent. Is there a motion for item number 30?
Yes.
Councilmember
Mayor,
Clark, go
I
ahead.
move we appoint Michelle Iafrate to city judge.
And
I have a motion from Councilmember Clark, a second from Councilmember Tomachoff to approve the recommended action. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, we'll conduct a roll call vote, starting with Councilmember Eldama.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark,
Aye.
Councilmember Melner,
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff,
aye.
Councilmember Turner,
Aye.
Vice Mayor.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, the motion carries unanimous. That's good. Okay, I'd like to invite Glendale's presiding judge, Nick DiPiazza, and Judge Michelle Iafrate. You folks got to come up with easier last names. You just have to. Up to the mics at my table to complete the oath of office. Please come forward.
If you'd be so kind as to put your hand on the Bible and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, your name,
I, Michelle Marie Ifrate,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the State of Arizona,
and the Constitution and the laws of the State of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance in the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance of the same,
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
discharge
the duties of my office
discharge the duties of my office
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'd like to welcome Mr. Iafrate and your daughter, Jacqueline. This is a great night for you and for your family. Ms. Iafrate is exceptionally qualified to be a judge here in Glendale, and she has my strongest recommendation. We're happy to have her aboard and fortunate. I'm sure she'll do her best for the city of Glendale. Congratulations.
Always a pleasure.
And congratulations again. Okay, Ms. Bauer, would you introduce item number 31, ordinance 021-39, please, item 31.
Ordinance number O21-39, an ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, creating a new Glendale City Code, Chapter 34, Non-Discrimination Code, prohibiting discrimination in public accommodation, employment, and housing on the basis of race, color, ethnicity, national origin, age, disability, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, veteran status, marital status, and familial status, and establishing penalties for violations thereof.
Mayor, members of the council, here to provide staff report on this ordinance tonight is Brent Stoddard, Deputy City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The item on the agenda tonight is the adoption of a non-discrimination ordinance in the city of Glendale. This evening, I'd like to walk you through some of the history on the subject and then walk you through some of the highlights of the ordinance. Over the last 50 years, Congress has enacted numerous federal laws to protect government and non-government workers for discrimination in employment practices. These include the Equal Pay Act and Fair Labor Standard Act, both of which prohibit discrimination based on sex. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibits discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. Pregnancy Discrimination Act and the Family and Medical Leave Act, which prohibits unlawful sex discrimination, including discrimination based on pregnancy, childbirth, and related medical conditions. The Age Discrimination and Employment Act, and the American with Disabilities Act and Rehabilitation Act of 1973. Currently, there are no federal laws that prohibit private businesses from discriminating in hiring and employment on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity. While federal workers currently had some protections in place based on sexual orientation On January 20th, 2021, President Biden signed an executive order which continued those protections against discrimination in hiring and employment in the federal civilian workforce and the federal contractors based on gender identity and sexual orientation. Over the last decade or so, Congress has looked at and considered different pieces of legislation to address this, but none have passed as of today. In Arizona, state laws prohibit discrimination in employment, housing, voting, and providing services or goods in place of public accommodations based on race, color, religion, sex, age, national origin, ancestry, disability, and family status. However, current state law does not prohibit discrimination based on sexual orientation, gender identity, or genetic characteristics, marital, or veteran status. The state does continue to operate under a 2003 executive order signed by Governor Napolitano, which prohibits discrimination within the state's own employment practices based on a person's sexual orientation. Now, the topic of non-discrimination is not something new for this city or for this city council. In fact, the council has been very active in studying and discussing this issue starting back in 2014. The council, with the workshop today, has spent over 14 public council workshop and voting meetings discussing this topic. And over this period of time, the council has been very active in taking deliberative actions to demonstrate a continued commitment to non-discrimination within the city of Glendale. A few of these actions include signing the One Community Unity Pledge, implementing non-discrimination policies for City of Glendale employees, contractors, and vendors. You also hired a professional facilitator to hold 4 community meeting conversations throughout the city on this topic. 1 dedicated solely to the business community and 3 for the citizens and other stakeholders to gauge how they felt about a non-discrimination ordinance and whether Glendale was seen as an inclusive community. Those meetings engaged over 130 unique residents, business owners, and other interested parties who attended meetings, sent in voicemails, sent in emails, providing the council a broad spectrum of business and community input, as well as public involvement that would allow you to continue the work that you're conducting this evening. In 2017, the council formed the Human Relations Commission, and you commissioned them with making recommendations on ways to encourage mutual respect and understanding within the community and all people, to discourage prejudice and discrimination, and to support cultural awareness and unity of the community in all of its diverse forms. The City of Glendale has also designated an LGBTQ liaison to the city manager to serve as a resource for the public, to elevate the voice of the LGBTQ community, to ensure that the concerns of the community are being heard by executive management. Brittany Leslie, Contracts Program Manager in the City Attorney's Office, currently serves as that liaison. In total, what this demonstrates is that starting in 2014, the council has been taking action. While preparing for this presentation, I went back and listened to all the previous meetings that were held, and one of the things that you hear the council members say consistently is that you wanted to take this issue in steps, which is what you have done. The next step is the action tonight before you to adopt a non-discrimination ordinance in Glendale. 8 cities in Arizona already have adopted a non-discrimination ordinance: Flagstaff, Mesa, Phoenix, Tempe, Tucson, Scottsdale, Sedona, and Winslow. And each of them have their own approach to this issue. Very recently, in March, the City of Mesa Council adopted a non-discrimination ordinance that's recognized as taking an inclusive but balanced approach to this issue. The draft Glendale ordinance before you tonight is modeled after the City of Mesa's ordinance. If you adopt it, you will essentially have the largest city in the East Valley and the largest city in the West Valley with similar non-discrimination laws and ordinance and implementations. The Glendale ordinance before you tonight prohibits discrimination in employment, housing, and places of public accommodation based on race, color, ethnicity, national origin, age, disability, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender, gender identity, veteran status, marital status, genetic information, and familial status. All of these combined ensure that our diverse population have an equal access and treatment in goods, services, employment, and housing in our city. The ordinance applies to businesses with 5 or more employees, places of public accommodation, employers and their workplace, city employees and city facilities, city contractors, and city vendors. The ordinance also provides exclusions to a variety of group and organizations and facilities, including businesses with less than 5 employees, federal government, state agencies, and political subdivisions, religious, public, and charter schools. This includes school facilities, extracurricular activities, including sports, religious corporations and organizations, including nonprofit religious corporations, businesses such as bookstores, faith-based shelters, and faith-based adoption agencies. It also includes exclusions to public accommodations that provide beneficial pricing to and policies to our seniors, our veterans, students, and individuals with disabilities. It provides an exclusion to single-sex designated area place of public accommodation, including single-sex gyms, restrooms, and facilities, single-sex sports and recreation leagues and programs, speech and expressive activities, and the free exercise of religion when protected under the First Amendment. For example, artists and other creatives will not be compelled to create work that violates their ethical, moral, or religious beliefs. Shifting to the administration and the implementation of the policy, the ordinance is administered by the city manager or their designee. There's no additional funding required under this model. Complaints must be filed with the city clerk within 90 days of the alleged violation. Once the manager receives notice of that violation, they follow a prescribed formal resolution process. First and foremost, the ordinance allows the city manager to always address complaints through informal means, such as notices or warnings. A first violation requires the manager to seek resolution through mediation and alternative means, not through a citation on a first violation. I want to emphasize here that education, voluntary compliance, informal resolution, and mediation of conflicts are required before any civil citation be issued. Also, any resolution that comes out or is achieved through mediation is not automatically considered an admission of having committed the allegation. Second violations or subsequent violations may also seek resolution through mediation and alternative means, including citations. If a citation is issued, the violator can pay the citation or dispute it. If it's disputed, a civil hearing officer will handle all of the proceedings and make a determination upon issuance of the citation. The actions and penalties in the ordinance can include up to a $300 fine for the first violation, a second violation, a fine not less than $300, no more than $2,500, a third violation, a fine not less than $600, no more than $2,500 per civil offense. Based on the feedback and the consensus of the council this afternoon in your workshop, there is an amendment drafted that Councilmember Aldama will offer this evening that will amend the language from the City of Mesa's ordinance to change the 120-day implementation date to a effective date of 30 days after council approval. And with that, Mayor and Council, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
All right, questions from the council? None. Do I have a motion? Mr. Aldama.
Thank you, Mayor. I motion for an amendment. I move that on page 10 of the ordinance, we amend section 3 titled effective date to be 30 days instead of 120 days, Mayor.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a proper way to do that. You're making a motion with the new verbiage, correct?
We need to vote on the amendment first.
Well, you can make your legislation,
Okay.
your draft legislation. We can vote it as it's amended. Make the motion with that.
Okay, so I motion to approve ordinance number 021-39 with a motion and amended. I move that on page 10 of the ordinance, we amend section 3 titled effective date to be 30 days instead of 120 days.
I think that'll
Second.
work. Mr. Bailey, is that good?
Mayor and council, yes, that's
Perfect. How about a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, amended motion from Councilmember Aldama, second from Councilmember Tomachoff to approve the recommended action with that amendment. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none. Okay, excellent. Councilmember Aldama, how do you vote with the amendment?
Aye. Aye.
Councilmember Clark, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Melner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Turner, how do you vote?
I'd like to explain my vote.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Very happy to see this day come. As I recall, this ordinance had its beginnings in a council item of special interest that was presented by former council member Gary Sherwood, with hopes that we would have it accomplished by the Super Bowl. Of course, he was talking about the 2015 Super Bowl, but I'm glad that we will have it accomplished by the 2023 Super Bowl. And with that, I vote aye.
Vice Mayor, how do you vote?
Aye.
Okay, I'm going to explain my vote. So this is not a new idea nor a topic for this council. Since I became mayor, this council has made a concerted effort to study and take measured steps to address discrimination in many of its different forms. By Glendale adopting the framework of the Mesa ordinance with the same language, and of course we do have that minor difference, I hope that other cities will consider adopting a similar ordinance, that they would use our ordinance as a model so that we can have consistency across the valley in how we approach or implementing these new laws. With that, I do vote aye.
Mayor, if I may, I was a little confused and I didn't get to make a comment, if I may.
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I was a little confused on where I was there. Tonight's action is really significant to me, and it's significant to our citizens, and it gives me great pleasure that this council has voted unanimous on this ordinance. We become one of 225 cities and towns nationwide who have adopted this kind of ordinance. So I say to those individuals who work for our organization and live in our communities, if you felt like you were not included or you were left out or not protected, you are now, and I welcome you, and I welcome you to our organization. And it's really important to me. I'm really excited. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, so with everyone's vote, it is a unanimous vote. With that, we're moving on. Request for future workshop and exec session. Do I have such an animal?
Yes, Mayor. I move that we hold the next regularly scheduled City Council workshop on Tuesday, June 8th, 2021 at 12:30 p.m. in the Civic Center, 5750 West Glen Drive, to be followed by an executive session pursuant to ARS 38-431.03.
I have a motion from the Vice Mayor, second from Councilmember Clark. All in favor, please vote. Well, any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Appears the ayes have it, do have it. That motion does carry. Now going to move on to council comments and suggestions. Councilmember Aldama.
Yeah, Mayor, I just wanted to thank a few individuals right behind me for all the work you do. David Salcedo, Adam Mueller, Jordan Rooks, Peter Arazola, and Sam Zavala. Thank you for the work you do for this council, but also thank you for Live at Murphy Park. You guys have become a sensation out there next to the bands playing, the sound and the lights out there. You guys are phenomenal, and I want to thank you guys and recognize you before the council today for all your work. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Clark.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone who attended the Monday groundbreaking for Heroes Regional Park Fishing Lake. It was well attended. A special shout out and recognition to Deputy City Manager Brent Stoddard, and to, I might be promoting her, but to Director of Media and Special Events Sue Bredding for their outstanding coordination in putting that event together. I would also like to invite everyone to attend my first in-person district city council meeting, which will be this Thursday at 6 p.m. in council chambers, not in this room, but in council chambers where we usually meet for voting meetings, 6 p.m. in council chambers. Lastly, since Councilmember Aldama did not mention it, I will. Monday morning, this coming Monday morning, don't remember the date, Monday at 8 a.m., not even 9 a.m., 8 a.m., we will have the grand opening of the O'Neill Park splash pad. There are a bunch of kids that live in that square mile that are really, really going to be happy to see this open. So we invite the public and the kids to come and enjoy Monday morning. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Milner.
The Thursday that,
It's Thursday.
You can show up
You're
Monday.
right. You're right.
Monday.
It is Thursday at 8 a.m. I was so shocked at the 8 a.m. I ignored the day. Yes.
all right, thank you. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Tomachoff.
Yes, Mayor. I just, as you know, as we're kind of, I think, starting to see the finish line on this pandemic, I just want to say thank you to the city employees, all city employees. This this has been quite a year, and I know I'm not the only one. How much I appreciate how we've all banded together, pivoting, moving us over here so we could continue to meet in public. We had our solid waste workers. I mean, this city did not skip a beat. For this entire time, we delivered the services that we promised to deliver to these residents of Glendale day after day after day. Especially thank you to the transportation, the streets, the water, all of you. I appreciate you all so much, and I want to give a special thank you to the public safety staff. I remember one day, and I was the one that kept pleading for these numbers for public safety, and I know there was one day where we had nearly 30 police officers quarantined and nearly 50 firefighters quarantined, and we still delivered service to our residents every day. So I am so grateful for all of you. I want to say thank you. I'm glad we're here. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and just I have so much appreciation for what you guys did to keep the city open and serve these residents. Thank you.
Councilmember Turner.
I could not add anything to that. Thank you, Mayor.
Vice Mayor.
Nothing, Mayor.
Oh, all right. Well, and I just want to thank everybody's patience. This has been a pretty challenging year for myself and my family. It seems like I've missed more time this year than I have in the last 30 years, and certainly wasn't on purpose. It just is what it is. So to this council, to the staff, thank everybody for your patience with my health and my family in times of loss that we've had. Seemed like a very high loss of family here lately. So with that, I'm not going to apologize because I didn't do it on purpose, but I do want to thank you all for your prayers, your concerns, and basically your love. So with that, thank you so much. We're going to move on next to our citizens' comments. Next on the agenda is just that. This council makes an opportunity available to our citizens. You can go ahead and open up those back doors to bring information business before the council that's not included on the printed agenda. And just in case anybody's wondering, there's noise back there. It was getting hard to hear. That's why I had them close the doors. This council can only act on matters that are on the printed agenda, but may refer the matter to the city manager for follow-up. So I'm going to ask Lorraine Zomak to come forward, and James Diabler, go ahead and follow her around the corner. We'll have you up after her. If you're unable to speak from the podium, please notify our clerk, and a portable microphone will be brought to you when your name's called. You have 3 minutes. Lorraine, go ahead.
My name is Lorraine Zomak, and I'm from the beautiful Ocotillo District. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Poet Robert Browning said, "Motherhood, all love begins and ends there." Well, our historic Downtown Glendale Merchants Association had the opportunity to show all moms how much we love and appreciate them with our 14th annual Mother's Day celebration, which was held on Saturday, May 8th in historic Downtown Glendale. It is my pleasure tonight to give you a brief overview of this very special day, which is part of our Merchants Association specialty promotions. These specialty days bring visitors to the downtown and directly into the doors of the shops and restaurants. Dozens of businesses participated in Mother's Day with all types of fun things, including make and take activities, artist demonstrations, fun photo ops, lovely gift ideas at the locally owned shops, and delicious menu items at our iconic eateries. Hundreds of people visited the downtown to celebrate moms. Through our on-site surveys on May 8th, we found that 22% of the participants were first-time attendees to our downtown, and more than 50% were from outside of Glendale. Our historic Downtown Glendale Merchants Association does give back to the community by supporting numerous charities, and this year's Mother's Day event was in partnership with the Blue Star Moms of the Southwest Valley, which sends care packages to our military. We asked attendees to bring items for the care packages, and this year was truly incredible, with the community donating nearly 3 truckloads of supplies. The items collected will be packaged and shipped to military throughout the world. In fact, the business community will roll up their shirt sleeves in early June alongside the Blue Star Moms to assemble the care packages. And it's not too late to donate items. One of the items we are in need of most is individually wrapped hard candy, so I'm going to do a little plug for that. We use this type of candy to fill every inch of the boxes, and these boxes are truly a special piece of home sent to our heroes all around the world. The Mother's Day celebration is presented by the Historic Downtown Glendale Merchants Association, a merchant-driven, all-volunteer organization formed in 2018, which stimulates, enhances, and sustains the economic vitality and customer experience of the historic Downtown Glendale shopping and dining district. We invite you to check out our website at visitdowntownglendale.com or follow us on Facebook at Historic Glendale. And our next activity, you'll want to mark your calendar, will be our 15th annual Christmas in July on Saturday, July 10th. Santa Claus does come from the North Pole for that. And we will be hosting a back-to-school supply drive to benefit the Glendale Elementary School District right here in our hometown. We truly appreciate, Mayor and Council, the opportunity to share this information with you tonight, and are thankful for all that you do to help us in promoting our downtown activities. And we hope to see you at Christmas in July. Thank you.
James, you're up. And again, I'll remind you have 3 minutes, sir.
Hi, I am James Dibler. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. Last Saturday, the Friends of James Dibler host and adopt a street event at St. Jerome's Mormon Catholic Church and School. 17 people attended the event. I pick up a lot of trash along Peoria Avenue. The experience with the city of Phoenix adopt a street program was good. Phoenix-based St. Jerome's Mormon Catholic Church and Stockstill-based St. Patrick's Catholic Community has volunteered to clean up the streets. I am looking for a third location for the city of Glendale adopt a street program. This location will be closer to Glendale Community College. I hope that third location of Friends of James Dibler adopt a street will be successful. Thank you for the time and consideration.
Thank you, James. Okay, there being no further business before this council tonight, I'd like to thank everyone for attending tonight's meeting. You know what? We need a lot more meetings like tonight. This is a good meeting. So if there's no objection from this council, we're adjourned.